Good afternoon to all of you. I hope I am audible to you. Am I audible properly? Hanji, today we are going to have a demo video or a free session for Anthropology Enrichment Cum Test Series program, that is Anthropology 300 program. This program, it had benefited many aspirants, and now in today's session I'm going to tell you how this structure will work. How we are having this enrichment cum test series program which would help you for the complete revision as well as current affair updations as well as some diagrams, value enrichment with the proper answer writing practice. Fine. So first let me tell you how this program will work. See, this program, as you know already, that there are 4 components in each and every class, that is basically going to be revision class. So we are going to specify you 4 basic things. The first thing related to the session is going to be PYQ trend analysis. In the PYQ trend analysis, in each and every unit, first we are going to analyze the PYQs from 2025 till 2013, and later on also we are going to include some sort of PYQs, and based upon the trend we are going to analyze which topic is more important, and those topics which are more important as well as the way how UPSC is asking question, we are going to integrate the revision sessions accordingly, and that's how we are going to proceed. Second part, once we had analyzed the PYQs, then we are going to analyze the basic syllabus, static syllabus as given by the UPSC, and that's in terms of revision session. See, Anthropology Enrichment Cum Test Series, the Anthropology 300 program, this is not for beginners. This program is for those who had completed their foundation 2 to 3 years back, or who had basically once completed their syllabus but not having their handwritten notes, not having something handy for revision, and they are like know the concept but they don't know them exactly, like the concepts are not exactly clear but they had invested the time. So that's why I am saying it is not for beginner. For beginner there is Anthropology Foundation course. So for beginner there is Anthropology Foundation course. This course is for those who had completed it once, but first they are not having conceptual clarity, second they are not having updation, third they are not having a proper revision, fourth they are not having proper handwritten notes handy for revision. So this session or this program is for those. So in this revision session, we are going to prepare the indexes. I will let you know how to prepare that and how to take the help of those indexes to cover the complete syllabus, to create a blueprint here in your mind. Many of the time students, what they used to do, they are making the notes in a very possible beautiful manner, but there is no use. Something should not be here in the pages, everything should be here in your mind. And not only in the mind, you should know the art how to replicate the same in terms of the answers, because ultimately UPSC is going to check, they are going to judge you based upon your answers. Okay, now third thing, in this session we are going to see some sort of practice question, and here I'm going to tell you the approach. Means this is the approach you need to take for those practice questions. That's how you would get to know how to write the answer. And once you are aware of the basic approach, then I'm going to share a PDF for the model answer. Fine. So once you are done with the same, going to show you the topper's answer copy. It's going to show you the topper's answer copy. And once you are done with all these things, then going to provide you a target. Target to prepare the short notes. See, these short notes, they are going to be one pager only. So this is basically what you are asking. Is there any way that I can get recorded video classes for anthropology? Yes, you can get the recorded video classes. Just do one thing. There is one Google form available. Fill that form. Team will connect back. Okay, fine. Yeah, for the full classes you will get. Okay, so once you are done with the same, we'll provide you a target to prepare the short notes. See, this is the mentorship program. First, I'm going to clear your base with value enrichment. Once you are done with the same, then I'm going to tell you how to prepare short notes. These short notes, they are in a very mechanical manner. And in this mechanical manner, you will be creating this one pager. These one pager would be handy for you. For what? See, once you are done with your GS, you have 5 days in between to cover your optional. Because after 5 days, you have your optional paper. I am talking about the mains. So within those 5 days, anthropology is having 5 parts. So you have to revise these 5 parts completely. Paper 1 as well as paper 2. Now think like that. Like it will take approx 3 days to cover up your mains GS paper, and before 1 week or around 10 days you must be reading about your GS because it's heavy. GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4 essay ka paper. So that's how you can understand it must be around 10 to 15 days that you haven't touched your optional, and suddenly within 5 days you need to revise. So therefore you should have something handy in your hand, and that's why I am going to help you to prepare the short notes. So I will be giving you target. Once I had explained everything, I will be giving you target. You have to prepare your short notes. Once you are done with your short notes, we'll be giving you the time for 2 to 3 days. Within those 2 to 3 days, you will revise it completely through your short notes only. Through the class and through your short notes. See, your short notes, they are going to be one-stop solution for you now onwards. Then you will revise it within the 2 to 3 days. We'll provide you the time accordingly, and after that you have to appear for a test. Now one more thing I want to highlight here. The test questions, they are prepared by me only, and those are on UPSC lines. As I'm going to tell you further, like from 2023, not specifically but specifically from 2024, UPSC had changed their way of asking the question. They are not asking something out of syllabus, except 1 or 2 bouncer questions. They would always be there, so you cannot escape from them. But once you are aware of the way how UPSC is asking question, how you can frame demand, so accordingly I am preparing the question for the test. So that's how I am preparing you. See, again, this is the thing. You can also check the kind of test series, as well as if you will if you are aware, in the Sunya IAS Anthropology Telegram channel, I had shared the alignment of the questions that had been asked in the previous test and the question asked by the UPSC in the mains 2025. So that's how you would get to know that there is a kind of alignment. UPSC had changed, and the test series prepared by us, it is having on the similar lines. Fine. So there is going to be test. Once you had given test, you will get evaluation. So the team will provide you the evaluation. Once you got evaluation, you need to share your evaluated copy with me, and then we both will sit down. If you are taking it in offline mode, then offline. If you are taking it in online mode, through phone call, and that's going to be one-to-one free phone call. So I'm going to analyze that once, because you had everything, why you are not mentioning the thing in your answer, why the things that you are having in your notes not replicating in the answers, and that's how we are going to analyze it. So this is the whole plan, and this whole plan is going to be dedicatedly for, like, there is going to be 29 classes, and once you are within the 29 classes itself, you are going to give the test, then again revision, short notes, test, revision, short note, test, revision. That's how this whole circle would be completed. And this is the whole plan regarding the anthropology enrichment come test series, or Anthro 300 plus. Why 300 plus? Because we will do every single effort to get the marks 300 plus. So if you would be very much averse, very much disciplined, determined, and punctual with the schedule, so you will certainly have a target and you will certainly achieve 300 plus. Okay, so now if you have any question you can ask. If not, then I'm going to proceed about the way of the syllabus coverage. I mean, you will also get the clarity about it. Do you have any question? Shall I start further? Okay, so I'm starting. Fine. So what we are going to do, the plan for today's class is that I'm going to start with the unit 2.3. Unit 2.3, paper 1, related to the marriage. This is the syllabus given by the UPSC. Now, first come first, we need to understand the syllabus. And we need to understand the syllabus in the most sorted way. So, the most sorted way for this is going to be first divided in terms of parts. Here you can understand first part, second part, third part, fourth part, fifth part, and sixth part. These are the 6 parts we are going to cover up. First one, marriage definition and universality. I'm going, see, again, do not expect here I'm going to explain each and everything in detail. Here, again, I'm saying this anthropology enrichment cum test series Anthro 300 plus program is not for beginner. It is for those who had completed their syllabus once but not having conceptual clarity, or not having notes, or not having revision, or not having any updation. So this is for those. So therefore I'm not going to explain what is endogamy, what is exogamy. I'm only going to provide you some extra things only, something that would help you to prepare in a structured manner. Okay, so this is the syllabus given by UPSC. We had divided it into 6 parts. This is what we need to do. Other than these 6 parts, 7th part is going to be the value enrichment. Okay, now where to put more emphasis, where to put more focus, that's the answer for this question would be provided by the PYQs. So now let's analyze the PYQs. So these are the PYQs have been asked from this unit 2.3. You can see in 2025 they had asked, in 2024, in 2023. In 2022 there was no question from marriage, but there was a question from family. Next 2021, 2018, 17, 15, 14 and 13. It means the first thing that we had analyzed is that from the paper 1, Socio-Culture Anthropology, unit 2.3 is important one, because every single year questions, they are appearing in the mains exam. So therefore we are going to put emphasis over it. Now first see from here. In the 2013 they had asked about the live-in relationship. The question was, where do you situate live-in relationship within the institution of the marriage? I mean, there's an institution of marriage, where would you situate? Now you would say, ma'am, live-in relationship, it is a current topic. But try to understand, they are not asking about the current topic, they are asking about the static part. Means there are different types of marriages, especially we are having 8 types of marriages. There is Gandharva marriage. So in the Gandharva marriage, we can put live-in relationship there. We can situate live-in relationship there, because in the concept of the Gandharva marriage was more or less similar to the live-in relationship. So they are just asking us the static part. They are not asking what is live-in relationship, explain about it. Now another thing, there are some ways of acquiring the mates, where the tribal people, they are allowing the groom to come to their home and live with the bride like husband and wife, and just try to analyze that is there any compatibility between them. So again, this is the version of the tribal marriages, but now has turned into in terms of a live-in relationship. We are not justifying live-in relationship here, try to understand. They are just asking us the static information, that did we in terms of the different types of the marriages, do we have any sort of system where we can say that yes, this is not something new, it was there, fine. Okay, so it means this is not, again, this is the thing I want to stress, that anthropology, it is a kind of a mixed subject. It is dynamic also, it is static also, but moreover it's a static subject. Means UPSC is not going to ask you specifically taking something from the news and then asking tell me about it. They will take the topic from the current affair but will relate it with the static. So you have to be very much conversant about the static, and you need to write it like in the same way. Okay, now next question, define the marriage and describe the various types of the marriages. So various types of the marriages in the human societies. So see, in the syllabus they had mentioned the types of marriages, and in the year 2014 direct questions coming from the type of marriage. So from here we can just basically what we are going to do is we are going to create a star. Means from the type of marriage they had asked the question. Next part, discuss the different form of preferential marriage with suitable examples from tribal societies in India. Here they are asking the question based upon the different forms. So we are having different form. So they are asking us preferential form. So again here they had asked the question. Next, ways of acquiring the mate in the tribal society. This is something which is part of value enrichment. I mean, it's part of the static syllabus. Next is marriage regulation and alliance theory. So again they are asking marriage regulation and alliance theory. Next is discuss the role of marriage regulation in the traditional societies in India for strengthening the social solidarity. Means how marriage regulation they are helping us to maintain the social solidarity. So again the question from the marriage regulation. Next, discuss the role of marriage regulation. It was, there is a mistake, so it is basically in the 2023. Okay, next, in the 2025, how the study of variation in the form of marriage led to rethinking on the concept of the social reproduction, kinship and family. Means first we have to explain the form of marriages, and once we are done with the basic form of marriages, we have to explain the social solidarity, social reproduction, kinship, family, how they are affecting. So this is what we need to do. So in this part we are going to basically explain first the type of families in terms of a form, and then we are going to relate. So from this perspective you can understand, like from in Sys Taboo also in 2006 there was a question. Here you can analyze that from this topic mostly marriage regulation, marriage type, they are the most important one. So we are going to pay more attention toward it. We are not going to neglect other topic, but from the basic analysis now we know these two topics, they are the one which are more important than others. Fine. Okay, now most important point, index preparation. So now I am going to help you how to prepare indexes. This is the most important thing. Why this is important? So that you are aware of what are the things you actually have, what are the things you need to study, and what are the things UPSC is asking. And for each and every unit I will make sure you would be having these indexes. How these indexes will work? Okay, so now let's see how these indexes they will work and how to prepare this index. See, this is extremely important. Okay, now index means what? Index means the introduction, which is providing us a blueprint of the complete section of a certain unit. So this marriage unit is having, as per the basic part, it is specifically mentioning 6 part, and I have told you here that these are the 6 part. 7th part we are taking upon for our self value enrichment. So that's why in terms of index, first what you need to do, you need to divide the page into 7 parts. So it's up to you. You want to keep it vertically or horizontally in your page. So it depends upon you. I'm going to take it here because I'm having a horizontal screen. Okay, fine. So now let's first create. This won't work here. Take. Okay, so we have to create 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is what we have to create. Okay. So the first part, as per the UPSC syllabus that they had given to us, is the marriage, definition and universality. So here we are going to write down what the marriage. Okay. Now we should know what to cover under this part, and that's how we are going to that's how we are going to cover it up. So the first part that we are going to cover up related to this part is the basic definition. So here in the basic definition, here in terms of basic definition, what we are going to cover up. First, introduction. So we should have something in our hand, 2 to 3 lines that we can use to introduce about the marriage. Means, let us suppose you are confused about what to write, like in the question that appears in the 2025 exam, how the study of variation in form of marriage led to rethinking on the concept of social reproduction, kinship and family. See, as I have told you, I'm not going to analyze the answer for the PYQ. Here we are just analyzing the trend. Regarding the answer, I will let you know in the practice questions part. Okay. Now, therefore, I should have something handy in terms of my one pager note. First, I should know that do I have the introduction. So therefore, we are preparing this index. This index would help us to search for that this is something I have, this is something I need to get. So the first part that we need to have here is the introduction. Means I will prepare introduction. Once I am done with the introduction, I should have a basic simple meaning of marriage. Like marriage means what? So here the second part I should have is marriage. The third part that I need to have is definition. Now, the part first, marriage, definition and universality. It means one definition won't work here because I need to check the universality. Therefore, I should have multiple definitions. And here, this complete index, it should have the color coding. If you can analyze, I'm providing the color coding. I need to write the anthropologist name with the green color pen. So wherever I will find out the green color, my mind will capture out that this is the name of a person and I need to remember it. Let us suppose in this complete index, green color appears 8 times. So I will try to remember that in marriage unit, I should remember 8 name of anthropologist, and I can, like, accordingly as per my convenience, I can mention any name anywhere if I feel that I know and that should be mentioned here. Fine. So now let's start with the same. So the first one is Malinowski. Second one, Seligman. Third one, the Louis. Fourth one, Edward Westermark. fourth one, GP Murdoch. Next one is the Edmund Leach. Next one is the William Stephen. Okay, these are the name. These are basically the anthropologist name that I need to remember and I need to mention. Fine. So this is what we related to the part marriage. Now heading toward the next part. Next part, as they had mentioned, the laws of marriage. So we would be writing next part as the laws of marriage. Next part is basically going to be regarding the laws of marriage. Now, talking about the laws of marriage, what we need to mention here is the basic that have been given by that had been given by the UPSC. Though there are different types. So the first one we are going to mention here, endogamy. Regarding the endogamy, what we need to do? See, we need to have a different color coding. This different color coding is going to be something which you are mentioning extra, so that you will remember that this is what I need to mention, and this would be like extra thing, that this would be like something that you are mentioning out of the box. So the out of the box, that what you need to mention is you can take a different color pen. So for example, you can take a yellow color pen. Another thing, wherever you would be mentioning an example, so for mentioning the example, you should use red color pen, so that again color coding thing will work, that wherever you had mentioned the red color pen, it will work for examples. Fine. Okay, so here in terms of endogamy, you would be mentioning about what are the basic reason for the same. So here for extra you would be mentioning reason for endogamy. Okay, next is going to be exogamy. And you would be mentioning here reason. What are the reason for the same? Now, third part that you will be mentioning, one more thing. Someone, just to show up, used to show so much of the data, so much of the information, but try to understand everything under the sun is not important. We need to do that much which is sufficient for our exam. Otherwise, there is no limit for syllabus. Syllabus can be extended unlimitedly. Fine. So therefore, the thing that I'm providing you here, it is sufficient for the exam. Okay. Now next part, that is in terms of the you would be mentioning about some types of heterogamy. So in the heterogamy, we are going to have the hypergamy and the hypogamy. So heterogamy, where we are going to mention hypergamy and we are going to mention hypogamy. See, in terms of the hypergamy, we are going to write down what are the reason, what are the basic reasons for the prevalence of the hypergamy, and what could be the consequence for the same. So we should have some point for the same. So reasons and consequences. Again, here we would be having reasons and consequences. Okay, reasons and the consequences. Next part, in this way, laws we are having is incest taboo. And this incest taboo is important one, so therefore we are going to put a star here. And in terms of incest taboo, we have to write down the types of incest taboo, and in types we are going to explain about it. Okay, this is how we would be covering up the laws. Next, once we are done with the laws, we need to do the third part. Like, see, incest taboo, this topic is very big. Here we are going to mention different types, who are the one who had propounded. Basically, we are having 5 types of incest taboo, and we are going to mention different types and explanation about it. Okay, now next part, after the laws, we are going to have is the form. We are going to have the types of the marriages. Let's see, it is mentioned as types of the marriages: monogamy, polygamy, polyandry, and group marriage. So next is the types of marriages. Monogamy, polygamy. In the polygamy, we are going to have polygyny and the polyandry. And we are also going to write down the others. Others in terms of extra. Extra means we are going to write down the same sex marriage. We are going to write down here the different type of marriage, basically the live-in relationship. Okay, in terms like, for example, we are mentioning about the monogamy, then types of the monogamy, the types of the polygamy, the polyandry, the polygyny. So this is what we are going to do here. So we have to mention their name here: serial monogamy, non-serial monogamy, and here the polygyny and polyandry. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Once we are done with the types of the marriages, next part that we have to do is the function of marriage. And the function of marriage is, we are going to sum up the functions into 4 parts. Means, what are the economic function, what are the social functions, what are the based upon the resident, like essential function, non-essential function. So we are going to here write down the basic 4 types in terms of essential and in terms of non-essential. Here we are going to mention about biological, then we are having economical, social, educational. And social. Okay, now after the function we have to do the marriage regulation. So in terms of the marriage regulation, we have to do some prescriptive norms, preferential norms, as they had been mentioned by them. The regulation means the form only. Regulation means the form only: preferential, prescriptive, proscriptive. So this is what we are mentioning here, the regulation. So whenever we are mentioning regulation, like for example prescriptive, so under the prescriptive we have to write down exogamy, endogamy, what are the reason for their prevalence, what are their unique form. So this is what we need to do. Okay, so this is what we have to specify. So here in terms of regulation, we are going to mention different form or form of the marriages. So the first that we are going to do here is, with a white color pen, preferential. Preferential regulation, then prescriptive, and then proscriptive. So in the preferential part, what we have to do is we have to write down the exogamy. Then once we are done with exogamy, here is the reason for the exogamy. Now we are going to write down the reason for the prevalence of the exogamy. So reason for prevalence of exogamy. Now, because of those reasons, what are the unique like ways, unique advantages, unique effect of this type of marriage? So unique advantages. Okay, same here. We are going to write down the reasons and the unique advantages. Okay. Now, in terms of proscriptive, also we are going to write down the ways of marriages. Okay. Now, because we are done with the basic regulation, next part that we have to do is in terms of the payment. See, this is the smallest part. Here in terms of payment, we don't need to do extra. Here we are just going to mention something about the bride price, something about the dowry system, something about the informal or formal dowry, indirect or direct dowry. So this is what we are going to mention. So mention like here bride price. In the bride price, we are going to take upon some examples. We are going to write down here basic examples as well as the dowry. So dowry we are going to do two type, direct and indirect. Okay. uh, First we are going to do the bride price, then the dowry, then third one we are going to mention here like what could be the other ways. So like we can, without money there could be some service based thing. So service based. Okay. After that, the next part is the value enrichment or value part. Something which is not covered here. This is what we are going to mention. So here we are going to write down first the ways to acquire mates. First is going to be ways to acquire the mates. What are the ways? How we are acquiring them? Okay. Now next part that we are going to write down here is like, for example, there are new institutions are coming, like now there is one person household, there is cohabitation also, there is living apart also. See, this is completely different. We must have heard that because of the job or because of their career, the married couple they have to live apart. We know about it, but are you aware of the thing that the people who are married not sharing, like there is a basic notion that the person who are married they would be sharing the place, there would be cohabitation. But there may be some reasons, like the person is working in the army, the female they are working at the home their hometown. Because of migration, some people they have to come out of their home and they have to work anywhere else. This is completely justifiable, but there are some married couple, out of their choice they are living apart, they are not living together. Now there is different thing: married living apart, unmarried living together, live in relationship. So this is what we are going to study. So here we are going to mention about new marriage. See, not completely marriage but type of marriage institutions, like cohabitation, like living apart together, like new concept. See, this is very uh, see, I'm going to write it down with the in terms of example. Aji, someone can tell me something about this dink, new term which is there in the news, and it's a new concept also. Can you please guess about it? What could be the full form about it? Dink. Anji, I'm waiting for the answer. See, dink means double income, no kids. This is the new concept that is arriving nowadays. In the Bollywood, you must have found so many examples, but now in the metropolitan city, see, this is what happened in the South Korea. Where there, so people they stopped even getting married. In the Japan also, but here in India, in the celebrities, some metropolitan cities people, they are having this notion where they are having double income, no kids. So this is also new concept. Another concept that we used to have one person household. See, in the Japan last year, so many people they died alone in their home, and their dead body lying at least for 1 week, till the time smell is coming out of their home. No one is there to just ask for that they are missing. No one is there to just take care of them. They are just dying in their home alone. So that's how you can know one person household. These kinds of things we can find out in the other countries where population density is low. This is not possible in India, but yes, in the upcoming years, due to the population shift, we can see such kind of thing also. I hope you have aware of, you got all the views about it. That's how you need to complete the index. Now the question arises, how it would help. See, this would help you to revise the complete unit, and revise the complete unit through this part only. How I'm going to tell you. See, let us suppose introduction. So here in the introduction, we are going to mention with another a different color pen that for introduction I should have 2 to 3 lines. Let us suppose for definition, you are going to mention here that I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have done with the 7 definitions. So here you will try to remember. See, Malinowski, he said this. Edward Westermark said this. If you are not able to remember, like this is for active recalling. If you are not able to remember through this way, you are just going to flip the pages, see your short notes, revise the definition from there. Again, you would be on the index for revision. See, this index is here for the revision. It would help you further. Fine. Okay. So now we are done with this. We are here going to fill it up with the words. Like for example, I should have 4 reasons. Here I should have 3 reasons. So you will try to remember what are those 4 reasons. You will try to remember here what are those 3 reasons. And that's how you would analyze it completely. Fine. So this is the kind of thing that we are having. Okay. Fine. So do you have any sort of doubt? Any sort of doubt related to anything? No? Shall I move further? Okay. Fine. Now let's have the complete revision. Again, I'm going to tell you that this revision here, do not expect that I will explain something, but yes, as a feature of the mentorship, we used to provide explanation. Like for example, your concept is not clear in the revision part, I just explained it and he had given the information. Now what you can do is you can just text me as a part of mentorship, as a offline or online, in the offline or online mode. I'm going to separately explain it for you, because this is only your requirement, and because it's a revision part, so that's why we are going to do it in a quick manner. Okay. Now the first one is unit 2.3 part A, marriage. So because we had divided into 7 part, we are doing the first part, part A, marriage. So in terms of a marriage, what they had explained about is that marriage is nothing but it is a socially approved sexual union, in that the couple's sexual relationship is implicitly understood and legitimate. Now whenever we are talking about the marriage, we should know about the fact that marriage, it is basically why people do marriage. See, having the child or having or not having the child, this is not something which is attached with the marriage. People, they can have child without marriage. People are having child without marriages. So marriage is not something that is being done only for the child. Fine. Okay, now then why people are engaged into the marriages? Marriage is bringing responsibility for sure. Marriage is bringing a change for female. In majority of the time they are bringing a major change in the life of a female. I'm not saying not for male, but major change for the female. But still people are doing marriages, and this is being considered as a social rule. Why? Because people are doing marriage for love. They are doing marriages because marriage brings the duties as well as responsibilities. And they are engaged into the marriage because it's a universal social institution. This is something which is acceptable. This is something which is providing you the legitimacy. This is something which is helping you to have the relationship which are bounded by some boundaries. Fine. So that's why people they are engaged into the marriage. Now, the next question that arises is that what are the basic features of the marriage? I mean, if we are saying marriage, what are the kind of features should be there to call any institution as a marriage institution? First, whenever we are saying marriage, we should know that marriage is a kind of a long term commitment. Means if someone is getting married, they should not get married like on the very next day that they are going to break it down. Although there are cases they can do that, they are completely free. But the thing is that whenever they are engaged into the marriage, they should not have this notion in their mind that it is for only for short term. If things won't work, they can end it anytime, but it should start with the vision that it's a long term commitment. Now exceptions are always there. Now let me give you the example. Shortest marriage that lasted for only 4 hours. There was a marriage in a Gujarati family where within the 4 hour of marriage they filed the divorce. So that's what we can say. Yes, marriage could be here. We can end the marriage anytime. But the reason is whenever we are starting with the same, it should have a vision. Fine. So this is something in terms of extra you can mention. This is also the diagrams. You can mention these diagrams whenever you are explaining the meaning of the marriage, whenever you are explaining about the functions of the marriage. So you can frame this diagram. Next part, there should be a reciprocal right. Reciprocal right means what? You should have a property right, you should have a finances right, you should have a child rearing right. Means the rearing of the child, it should not be only the male it should not be the female's responsibility. It should be the responsibility of both the parents. Recently there was one case highlighting there is a banker, she basic and like there is one husband and wife. The husband was engineer and the wife was banker, and they were having a 3 to 4 year of kid girl. So the wife not able to manage both the household things as well as the job, and she was her health, her immunity was affected, severely affected. So the husband, he basically stepped forward and he took the complete responsibility of the household work, and he left his job. Now the wife, she was going to office, doing the work in the office, earning the money, and husband was having a household based life. So this is what we can say, that the responsibility of rearing a child is completely of the male as well as the female. Okay, next one is the sexual relationship. Now the sexual relationship, it is implicitly understood as well as it is legitimized. Means the husband and wife, they are being granted privacy by the society and they have complete right. But when I'm saying complete right, it is not like, I'm not saying that right without consent. Consent is the prime thing, but we are having some controversial things also. Like for example, Supreme Court, they decided on the marital rape law despite the center silence. Means center was silent on this topic. Why? Because center is taking social norm as the prime, and social norm is saying that the husband is having complete right over the wife, vice versa, but mostly it is like that husband is having complete right over the wife. But here Supreme Court, basically even the Madras High Court, they said that female, they are the ultimate owner of their own body. And that's how, even if they are together in a bond of marriage, still husband is not having complete right over the wife. Fine. Okay. Next, economic cooperation. Economic cooperation means what? It means that if the male is earning, he will be upkeeping the family. If female is working, she will also contribute half. So that's how you can understand. Means the both the parents, they are responsible for the child maintenance, not just father. This is the high court said, and this is very good also, where they mentioned that economic cooperation should come from both the side, father and mother. If the father is earning, he will provide. If mother is earning, she will also provide for the child maintenance. Fine. Okay. Next is residential cohabitation. Residential cohabitation, it means what? They should live together. This is the definition of marriage. But it doesn't mean that if they are not living together, they are not married. There is again exception. Means now we are able to see the new concept, the living apart together. Now, living apart together means what? That they are engaged in a bond of marriage, but they are living apart. They are not living together. There are so many celebrities, like if you must have heard the interviews of recently there was one TV celebrity, serial based celebrity, Surbhi. I don't remember the complete name, but she mentioned that she's not living in the same room with, like, she's not sharing a same room with her husband. In the same way, the Shah Rukh Khan, he also mentioned in one of his interview, where he mentioned that he's not living in the same room with his wife, and that's not because they are having some differences, but because they respect each other privacy. He even mentioned that whenever I am going inside the room of my wife, I used to ask for her permission that can I enter. So that's what we can understand, that this is something in terms of a new form of marriage we can see. Okay, fine. So we had seen this, basic definition, and we had seen the basic definition. We had mentioned about that these are the basic points. So again, you need to remember these points and you need to mention. Fine. Okay, so this is something extra you need to add on in your notes. Now, next part, that what we need to do, we need to check the universality. So what we are going to do is, we are going to mention the name of the anthropologist. We need to remember the definition given by them, and then we have to mention about the exceptional cases there, just to show that definition is not universal. Marriage is universal, marriage is completely universal, but the definition of marriage is not universal. Like Edward Westermark in his book History of Human Marriages. In his book History of Human Marriages, he mentioned that marriage is a relation of one or more men to one or more women, which is recognized by the custom or law, and it is involving some certain rights and duties, both in case of parties entering into the union or in case of children born to it. Means, what are the exceptions that we can see here? The exceptions are like that. So couples, those who are performing the court marriages, their marriages without ritual, I mean they are having marriages and their marriages without ritual, still we consider them marriage. I mean, it doesn't mean that marriage means custom. See, in the Hindu, there is the means there are sat feras, and we are saying that sat feras, they are the thing that is very important. They should be doing the sat feras, and only then they can consider each other as married person. Whereas whenever the people, they are having the court marriages without ritual ceremony, still we consider that court marriage is a marriage. It means that the definition given by Edward Westermark, it is not universal. Another thing, there is one thing where couple, like as there is a living apart together thing, couple, they are not living together. Next thing is, in which the spouses, they are permitted to have extramarital relationships somewhere, like in some communities they are allowed. Then how would we going to define about the marriage? how we are going to explain that this is the marriage, this is how the marriage is basically being explained. So Edward Mestermark definition, it is not universal. Next is checking the GP Murdoch. So according to the Murdoch, marriage is a universal institution and it involves residential cohabitation, economic cooperation. Here we can mention in terms of exception Nair family. You all would be aware of the Nair family and the Nair case. If no one is able to understand the Nair case, you can text me directly. I will explain to you specially. But now I am assuming that you had completed your syllabus once. If you are not aware it, you can text me directly. But here I am not going to explain the case of Nair family. Okay. Now next is Seligman. He mentioned that marriage is a union between a man and woman such that the children born to the women, they are recognized as legitimate offspring. But here in exception, we know the case of Neuro of Africa, where the male is dying and the female is taking the name of the husband, of the late husband. Fine. Next is the modern definition. We are saying that it is a socially legitimate sexual union and it is beginning with the public pronouncement. Means they are saying it to the others. Now, whenever we are saying rituals, so every single wedding that's happening, it is not in terms of a ritual. Like for example, if you have heard about the notion ghost marriage, in the ghost marriage, they are performing the marriage. They are performing the marriage in a complete way. See, the people from the Karnataka, they would be aware of the Dakshin Kannada, the ghost marriage, and they are having this type of marriage. They are organizing this type of marriage very often. So what kind of thing we can see here? In terms of the ghost marriage, they are having complete rituals. They are using ornaments and any such things to represent the groom and the bride. But those groom and bride, they are not living together. They cannot have further children together. But still we are calling it marriage. So it means that it doesn't mean that ghost marriage is, because it is practically not type of marriage, we cannot consider it under any definition. So ghost marriage, it is in terms of a exception. Okay. Now, driving women to hold the ghost marriage with the late boyfriend after the tragic car accident. So what happened is there is one couple, they are about to get married, and the male, he basically died due to one car accident. Now that female, still she got married with the late husband thing, just to represent him, and still she was saying that I am his wife. So that's what, again, she was saying that I am I am completed in a bond of marriage, but originally she cannot have any child, she is not having a husband. So that's what you can understand. Next part is family arranged the ghost marriage for the Malaysian couple who died in a car accident. So one Malaysian couple, they were having their pre-wedding shoot, and unfortunately during the pre-wedding shoot both died. But their family, on the same date, they organized their wedding with their photos, represent the gifts and everything in the same way. So that's what you can understand. Ghost marriage is actually a kind of thing which is practiced in so many different countries, in so many different culture, but still it is not a type of actual marriage. So as in terms of a conclusion, what you can mention, in terms of a conclusion, you can mention that the definition of marriage is not universal, but marriage in one form or the other is universal. Okay, fine. Next part is why marriages are involved. Means why marriage is unique to human being. Why people are engaging into the marriage. I mean, why it is so important. See, Highland Erickson, he mentioned that there is a mate deficiency. Means in the earlier time period there was a mate deficiency. Now also, because there is a kind of like, as you are aware of, that there is a kind of disturbance in terms of the sex ratio, there would be in future mate deficiency. But Highland Erickson, he mentioned that women, they are a scarce resource. Means women, they are a scarce resource. Why? Because here try to understand the concept. Women, they started having their menstruation cycle in the age of 15. I mean, in the age of 12 to 14. But first 2 years they are without ovulation, means first 2 year having their menstruation cycle but still not fertile. So she would be fertile approx within the age of 15, and they had their menopause in the age of 45. It means on an average 31 years. Okay. So female is having 31 year of reproductive age. Now there is a gestation period of 9 months. 9 month for what? 9 month for the pregnancy, and then 1 month of postpartum. So analyzing 10-month time period for one child, we can basically specify that if we are not taking the cases of triplets or casing the twins birth or something, we are here considering 1 year one child, means 1 10 month one child. So that's how in 31 year of reproductive age she can only give birth to the 37 child. In her own reproductive age she can give birth to the 37 child. It means what? It means that women is a scarce resource. She is having a limited reproductive age and limited reproductive capacity. But male, they are not having the same. Male can have, you can't even count. Male can have that many children. So therefore, in the earlier time period, there was a mate deficiency, and to determine that this is their mate, to determine the same, they used to have what? They used to have the marriages, so that one male, one female, and now they cannot engage with any other one. Next is child care and friendly environment. See, child care and family environment, that is very important, and they are having the same for this only. Like for example, if you will see here, the male and female, the father and mother, they are having a target that they wanted to have 20 children. These are 16 children, and they are having a target of having 20 children. They are spending 72,000 rupees a week for the upkeeping of their children. So that's how you can understand marriage means what? It means the child care, the friendly environment. Provide them the same. Division of labor, where male or female, among both, they can provide the money or they can provide the type of work, like for example the household based thing and all. Next we are having the family system. So this is what we are having in terms of a family system. So I hope you can understand it clearly. Okay, fine. Next, so we are basically done with the first part, the marriage, and why marriage is unique to the human being. It is unique to the human being because there are some reason, like there are some biological reasons, like mate deficiency, reproduction, some sort of sexual fulfillment. Now another, on the another side, we are having some socio-cultural relationship, like we want someone to support, we want someone to protect, we want a kind of environment so that we can enhance the cultural learning. We want the division of labor, and we want some sort of foundation, and marriage is the foundation for the family. So these are the kind of thing we really wanted to have. That's why marriage is unique to human being. Any another species, they are not having these types of purposes or goal. So to fulfill those goals they will get married. No, they are not having, but human being are having, and that's why we are doing the same. Now the next is in terms of the laws of marriage. So laws of marriage, as they are specifying that laws of marriage in terms of endogamy, we are marrying within the group. Exogamy, we are marrying outside the group. Here in terms of extra, what you can do is you need to mention the anthropologist's name with the green color pen, Westermark. He said that Baba did not prefer to marry a girl from his village. Why? Because they are saying that all the people in their village, they are somehow related to them in terms of a bloodline or clan or something. So they just wanted to marry outside their clan. Okay, next is heterogamy. In the heterogamy we are having two part, hypergamy and hypogamy. Hypergamy, when a man marries a woman belonging to the lower strata. Hypogamy is when a woman belonging to a higher social strata, they marry a man from a lower social strata. So what could be the reason for the hypergamy, and what could be the reason for the hypogamy? I mean, what are the reason for the prevalence of both? See, in terms of the hypergamy, how we are analyzing it. In terms of the hypergamy, the woman is preventing from losing her caste status, and hypergamy is also was there because the families wanted to give gift to the Brahmin. So in terms of a gift, they used to give their virgin girl, and the Brahmin used to accept them because the girl is pure as per their definition. And one more thing, why they are giving their girl to them, because according to them Brahmin is a upper caste and they wanted to provide the same status to their daughter, so that's why they are having it. Okay, next is hypogamy. So the hypogamy, and in terms of consequences is, see, the female, they have to, like the family of the female, they have to give huge dowry if they are getting married within the same age group or same caste group or something. If they will get married to a lower caste person, so they can adjust with the dowry. This is the first. Second was the spinsterhood, means when the girl is of 30, 32, 35 year of age, then no one is going to get married with them. If because no one is going to get married with them, so they are open with any caste. So these were the two reasons for the same. Okay, fine. So this is something related to the laws of marriage. So next part, laws of marriage. Fourth part, incest taboo. So in the incest taboo, you can see there are basic 5 part. So you have to remember each and every part, and for each and every part you should remember the name of the anthropologist. So again I'm going to highlight it with the green color pen. So this is Sigmund Freud, this is Edward Westermarck, this is family disruption B. Malinowski, family cooperation E. B. Taylor. So these are the kind of name for the incest taboo. Here the first part, psychoanalytic, it is Sigmund Freud. So Sigmund Freud, he mentioned that sexual relationship between the close relative, they will affect the society and socialization among them. So therefore, to avoid that, we classify the incest taboo. Incest taboo means what you are saying, that there should be a prohibition of sexual relationship between the close relatives. This is what we are mentioning, incest. Sexual relationship between close relatives, and we are attaching a taboo. It means it is prohibited. Why we are prohibited? Because we want psychologically someone who's in our own proximity should be protected, should not be someone with whom we are having the sexual relationship. Okay, next one is the childhood familiarity. Childhood familiarity means what? There was one experiment that we did in the Israel among the 125 pair. So this 125 pair, they are being nurtured together, and we found that no one, the boys and girl 125 pair, no one, they are working like a siblings, they are doing all the things like a sibling, they are not engaged in any they are not engaged in any sort of sexual relationship. This is what it is saying, that there's a childhood familiarity, means with whom we are living together, we are not going to be sexually active towards them. We would consider them as our friend or as our sibling or someone. Okay, next, family disruption. So B. Malinowski said that there would be a competition for the mating. Means if there is, they are mentioning that it will disrupt the complete family if relationship they are not aligned, because now we are having rules and regulations. Means no sexual relationship between the brother and sister, no sexual relationship between the mother and son or father or daughter. Now because there are such prohibitions, therefore we can maintain a family system. Means in one family the sexual relationship, they are allowed only between the married couple, not between not among all other male or female. That's how we can save the family. Next is the family cooperation. So it is being given by the E.B. Taylor and Leslie White. So they said, because we are putting in this taboo, therefore we are maintaining healthy relationship among each other. Next is inbreeding avoidance. So this is a scientific reason which is saying that if they will get married to the like the kind of case we can see in the Pakistan, majority of the person they are having the genetic disease, and the reason behind the genetic disease is because there is incest taboo. I mean, they are not having incest taboo, they are having marriages and child among the close relative. So close relative they are having the same DNA, and then it lead to the DNA duplication, DNA disruption, and which lead to the some sort of genetic disease. Fine, so this is again a reason for the incest taboo. I hope you can understand it completely. Fine, next topic, that is the types of marriages. So in terms of type of marriages, we have monogamy where is one female and one male, whereas we are having polygamy where we can see the two cases, polyandry and polygyny. In case of polygyny, there is one male and there are multiple female, whereas in polyandry there is one female and there are multiple male. Okay, now we can see the cases of polyandry in the todas. We can todas, they are still engaged in the polyandry, whereas we can see the polygyny in some areas of Maharashtra, and in some of the region I will show you the video. Fine, next is the group marriages. Group marriages where a group of male and female they are getting married with a group of male and female. Means here I'm not saying samuhik vivah, here I'm saying that they are getting married, means each male and female they would be having right over the other. Fine, okay. Next is water wives. How the lack of water in this Maharashtra village led to the polygamy, where one male and multiple female. So this is the case of what? Polygyny. Here what happened is this male person is having more than one wife, and the reason behind that is because this village is having water scarcity. So one female, she will have only one work to bring the water, another female they will have work to maintain the household thing, one is having the work to maintain the child. So that's how you can understand it completely. This is the reason for the polygyny. Okay, fine. Next, the question arises is about the marriage regulation. See here, simply I'm explaining the marriage regulation: prescriptive marriage and preferential marriage. Prescriptive marriage, they are of two type: exogamy and endogamy. You know, exogamy outside the group, endogamy within the group. And outside the group, like outside the family, outside the clan, outside the gotra. Whereas endogamy within the tribe or within the caste. Like now also we are having within the caste, means caste endogamy, but gotra exogamy. Fine, okay. Next is preferential marriage, means with whom preferably you will get married. Cross cousin, you know very well that when the gender of the parents is not similar, I mean if they are brother and sister, and their child they are getting married, this would be called as cross cousin. And when the gender is same, they are sibling, and their child they are getting married, then it would be called as parallel cousin marriages. We have levirate where men will marry the wife of deceased husband, and we have sororate where men will marry the sister of his deceased wife. So these are the basic marriage regulations that we can see. Okay, now next part is different types of the marriages. So other different types of the marriages, like as I have told you, in terms of marriage regulation we need to do this part also. India Supreme Court, they declined to legalize the same sex marriages. Same sex marriages means what? Where the gender is same, and originally or biologically, because they cannot have child, they cannot form family, so this is not something which is allowed. But based upon the right to life, based upon the right to equality, the Supreme Court, as under their fundamental right, cannot infringe their fundamental right as per their own choice to live a life and to have a partner. So therefore India's Supreme Court Therefore, India Supreme Court declined to legalize the same sex marriage. So they said that same sex marriage is not legal, but they said that it is not illegal also. Means if someone is coming and engaged into the same sex marriage, court or someone else cannot file a case against them on the pretext of having a same sex marriage. But if those people, they are legally calling them husband and wife, we are not going to accept. For example, let us suppose, think like that. A wife is going to have the name of her husband in her Aadhaar card or in the bank account or something like that. And we accept it also, for example, in a hospital, because there is a case study about it. Let us suppose in a hospital, so wife is under operation, so the doctor, they are asking for a written permission for the operation. So the husband is allowed to sign there. He's not having any blood relation, but he's having a marital relationship with his wife. Okay, this is acceptable. Now understand like that there is a same sex marriage, both are female, one is under operation, another one, because not related to the blood relation, also not having a legalized marriage, cannot be allowed to give permission for the operation. Doctor, they are not going to accept that. So that's what you need to understand. This is something in terms of legal and illegal actually means to you. But if they wanted to have a marriage, if they wanted to live together like a husband and wife, they are completely free because they have a right to life. Okay. Now, same sex marriage review petitioner decision delayed as a SC judge recuses. Means in this way, Supreme Court judge again, they are not giving appropriate explanation about it. So this is what we can basically explain. Now, China's same-sex couple, they can legally register marriage in Taiwan. So other countries, they are allowing them. Other countries, they can do the same. Okay, fine. So this is what you can understand completely. I hope you can understand it. Fine. So that's how you need to cover. Other than this, there are also other aspect related to it, that what is the legal position on the live-in relationship. Here I am not asking you to situate it, but here what I am saying is what are the legal positions. So the legal position for live-in relationship is like that. Live-in relationship in some areas, like let me give you the example of the Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand, they had introduced the UCC, Uniform Civil Code, where Uttarakhand government said that adult who are not minor, they can engage into the live-in relationship until and unless they had registered themselves. And why that happened? That happened because of some of the cases where the live-in relationship, the male and female, they are living together, but their parents are not aware, and the male somehow they killed the female because of all these things. So Uttarakhand government said that in this case, the couple, if they are living together, they need to register themselves. Again, live-in relationship in India is not legal, but it is also not illegal. If someone wanted to live, they are free, they can. So no one is going to file a case against them. Fine. Okay. But another thing here, in terms of a legal position, we cannot say that it is legal. Live-in relationship is not legal. Fine. Okay. So that's how we are done with the basics. Again, there is a part that ways to acquire the mates. So there are different ways to acquire the mates, like in the tribal communities. So you are already aware of, like 10 marker questions, they are coming from this part, but now UPSC is not asking those 10 marker question also related to this part. Fine. So we are basically done with this part, like where we are basically explaining about different the form of marriages, the types of marriages, the law of marriages, and all this part. Fine. Now we are heading towards and we are going to take upon the practice question related to this part. Fine. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you how to write the answer for the same. Okay, so there was this question, and this question was 20 marker question, had been asked by the UPSC in the 2023. So the question was, discuss the role of marriage regulation. Discuss the role of marriage regulation marriage regulations in traditional societies. Traditional societies in India for strengthening social solidarity. And it's a 20 marker question and it's a PYQ. Now, whenever you are having any question, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to analyze something in your mind. See, here I'm not giving you the question, here I'm only telling you the approach. And the approach is basically saying that you should first divide each and every question into three parts. So the first part should be the introduction. You should be aware of what to write as a part of introduction. Next, body. And next, conclusion. Okay, fine. See, I'm going to have a next session. So the next session is going to be related to the how to prepare the short notes. Already I had taken some session, but again I'm going to take one session for especially for Anthro 300 plus program, how to prepare the short notes. Here I'm only telling you approach to write the answer. So first, what you need to mention in the introduction. Now there are different approach what you can take or you can write under the introduction. Either you can mention about the basic meaning, or you can mention about the anthropologist's name or their definition, or you can start with any example. Now first read the question. Question is saying discuss role of marriage regulation. Means they are asking something about the marriage regulation, but they are not asking us to explain the marriage regulation, but they wanted us to explain marriage regulation and their role to strengthen social solidarity. I mean, how marriage regulation are helping us to maintain solidarity in the society. Fine. So this is what they asking us to explain. Now, introduction for this question. Either I can start with meaning, or I can start with the basic definition, or I can start with the example. Which approach is going to be best for this question? Mentioning the anthropologist's name and definition. Because through the help of that, I would be explaining the marriage as well as marriage regulation. So here I will start with anthropologist's name. This is the blueprint you should prepare in your mind whenever you are writing answer. This blueprint will help you to frame the answer in less time and to write answer quickly within the time scale. So here I would be using, I have numerous definition. Remember we had taken the 8 definition. So out of those 8 definition, we would be writing the definition given by G.P. Murdoch. So we would be mentioning their definition about the marriage regulation. Then heading towards the body. The body should be divided into two parts as per the demand of the question. First part should mention in a diagrammatic format the marriage regulation. So here first we would be mentioning about marriage regulation. I will mention here one diagram, and then I'm going to use next heading, marriage regulation strengthening social solidarity. Social solidarity. This is what we have to explain. And here we are going to write down in a bullet format all the points. Means it is reinforcing the social structure, like it is dictating the endogamy, exogamy structure, like that. So it is reinforcing the social structure. It is basically presenting some sort of religious values. So presentation of religious values. It is basically presenting the religious values. It is basically mentioning about the community cohesions and some kinship network. So community cohesion. It is mentioning about the kinship network. Okay, these are the kind of thing that we are going to mention. Once you are done with this part, then you have to mention the conclusion, and the conclusion, it should include like marriage regulation, they are contributing, they are associated with the caste based discrimination, gender inequality, whereas it help maintaining the solidarity with the help of social and cultural changes. So here you have to mention balanced, positive outlook. Fine. So this is how we are going to analyze, or the basic approach. Means for each and every question you should have a blueprint like this. Here in today's session I'm only giving you the blueprint for one question. I will be taking a separate session also where I would be explaining the questions with the blueprint. Okay, fine. Heading toward the next part, as I have told you, the fourth part is analyzing the topper's answer copy. Now see, what is the question have been asked here. This copy is of the Nidhi Pai, the who basically got the 325 marks, the highest mark. So this question, incest avoidance functions as a mechanism to propel the individual into new relationship and the social territory discussed. So this question, they are talking about the incest taboo. So very simple short question. So the topper had analyzed about it, giving the basic meaning of incest taboo, and then mentioning what does we mean by the word incest taboo, and then the theories. So as I have told you, 5 theories. So in each and every theory they had explained about the name of anthropologist, especially mentioning it separately and then explaining. Means try to understand. Toppers, they are analyzing the topics in a very beautiful manner, means something which is highlighted. So that here you can understand that toppers, they are mentioning something for the like which is making the work of the like which is making the work of examiner easy. See, examiner don't need to search for the name of anthropologist, mentioned clearly. Each and every heading is clearly mentioned. When they have prepared the diagram, close it within a box. So this is what you can understand. We need to write like this only. The approach of answer writing should be like this only. Means mentioning it in terms of boxes, mentioning it in terms of double line, mentioning in terms of boxes the headings. So this is what you can understand. If mentioning any diagram, so mentioning it again in terms of boxes. So you need to incorporate this style of writing where headings should be separately within a box, heading should be underlined. If you are using mentioning any diagram, so diagram should be mentioned separately. So this is what we need to do. I hope you have you have understood well. So this is the way that we have to specify related to the particular unit. In the next session, I'm going to tell you how to prepare short notes. So as I have told you, this is the way that we used to complete any unit. First, we analyze the trend. Then we had taken a revision with the current affairs or some current updates. Then we had taken the blueprint, the basic approach. Usually in one lecture, we used to have 7 to 8 questions for practice. Here for demo, I had given you one only. And next, we are having the toppers answer copy analysis. This is the basic way, and that's how we used to help for the Anthropology 300 plus revision program. Next, we are having the short notes making task, and for that I would be having a separate video. If you are having any sort of doubt, so you can connect with me through the there is one number available. There is one Google form also available, so you can fill the Google form and you can connect with me. Okay, so thank you so much for today. Next, we are going to have a session for the short note making. Fine, so thank you so much.